21:47 on the 19th of August 2023, and this is just for an upload with regard to the ongoing documentary I'm compiling with regard to human rights, civil rights and democracy, and the issue in County Kerry that has spiralled out of control. There's no such thing apparently by the looks of things that damage limitation is at play. There are people that are still being really irresponsible and reckless in society. They're unlawfully in society. They're still making problems after Brexit. They're disrespecting the legislation of Brexit and COVID that came from my humanitarian contributions to society. They're stalking, they're stealing and they're slandering, and they're putting good people's lives at risk. So the United Nations, I'm a Royal Mother, I'm of Royal Protocol, and there are people parking illegally. People are putting themselves at risk with bad parking practices. I'm concerned for people that think they're safe parking where it is illegal. Yellow lines and protocol and so on and so forth. So Brexit has a lot of entanglements and complexities and intricacies to it, and it's really not safe for people to disrespect my protection rights. As I've mentioned, I'm of about 4 or 5 jurisdictions. I'm of French nobility, most notably, and I have other fantastic connections as well with my royal titles. So those people that are being really rude or ignorant or silly or just oblivious to the reality of the circumstance, I'm really concerned for their mental health and their IQ with regard to what Brexit actually means. These people have been using themselves very willingly in the sex industry and putting out a really unsafe message to young girls. So unfortunately, those that are bartering business with their bodies and not making bail, and not making or meeting their debts, are really not safe offending me. Damages to my body are really not safe for any government that has exploited from my credentials or my achievements since 2019. Even prior to then. So those people that are deluded about their debts, extortion that I'm experiencing isn't safe for young children either. My child being a missing person, that's still unsafe for people's families as well. So I don't know if these people are able to think properly. Anyone insulting the field of psychiatry, any one of the Kerry University Hospital associated with farm fraud. I'm aware that people are suffering from a neurosis of the mind with regard to my matrimony and my nuptials and what I own. These people are suffering from a very dangerous sickness that they have already suffered consequences for. So please don't associate your fraud or your filth with my farms and my fabulous ancestry. Anyone associating themselves with fraud and my nuptials, unfortunately, are putting themselves in precarious positions with the church, again as usual in County Kerry, where they've been of bad faith practices, where they really did themselves a lot of damage. So in the best interests of the authorities' children, I think it would be really safest and smart for people to start respecting the children's futures rather than supporting any more ASBO conduct of stalkers, slanderers and stealers sneaking around the place and saying things that they are not in a position or place to be saying at all. It's really embarrassing how they've embarrassed the arts as well. They've embarrassed more than just the arts. They've embarrassed the heritage and the culture of the country as well. We're all aware of the poor communication skills of these people that are putting out a bad message to young people. So they're offending the University of Limerick as well, I might add, and the credentials and achievements that the language and culture department I have been a graduate of as well. These people have been deplorable in their bravado and brazen behaviour with other people's property, and they are most unwelcome. They are most unwelcome. So there's a very dangerous issue, as I've highlighted on my forum. Anyone that has debts owing to my name are advised not to spend any stolen wealth that they have from me. I'm living on €220 as a job seeker, and apparently that's the record keeping of a state body that is fully aware that I'm a property owner of legislation and up to a level 10 on the National Framework of Education. So unfortunately this situation of ASBOs coveting from me and offending and causing more problems for my Fernan ancestors. Unfortunately, these people just have not learned how unsafe their conduct is. They've already caused so much embarrassment. It's really bad. So those that aren't working with proper record keeping, the basics, those that have to update their records, they might see one or two of their errors for offending Royal Protocol and the constitution of this country when deluding themselves with wealth that they've stolen from me. So this is a European Court of Human Rights issue. Brexit and COVID came from my humanitarian contributions, crime prevention, etc. And those offending women and children's rights are a liability to children's families where there is a very dangerous debt owing. So any damages that I've experienced, unfortunately, as I have a few roles and positions, those thinking that they're going to continue with this vendetta or initiative really aren't thinking in the best interest of their children. Those taking credit for Brexit or COVID legislation, I can't say enough about how unsafe that is. I have spent a lot of days, nights, hours, blood, sweat and tears for COVID and Brexit to actually come into legislation. So any fraud or forgery is not really safe to be supporting, and unfortunately we can't pray our way out of brown paper bags and into more problems without proper restitution and mature professionalism. So these people that are continuous in their problem making without respectful behaviour are not safe for intelligent citizens to be associating with. It's not good conduct. It's not supported by law. The transactions of these people, they're already in debt, they're already after causing a lot of casualty, and they are not of a trustworthy nature. So as I have a few purpose positions and whatnot, these people that are defying the reality with stupidity obviously aren't qualified to be doing any record keeping on any state system, considering already the damage that they've done to private information of the HSE. And that is also an issue of a huge matter for cybercrime culprits that I'm tolerating as well. Private companies of cybercrime that have been on my personal data and hacking onto my information in my online accounts. This is all what I'm tolerating. So I doubt there are people, intelligent people, that are supporting any of this, considering what we've seen already. This is ongoing in County Kerry. It's the same culprits. So the intelligent people of mainland Europe are aware that these people are not trustworthy and that they still have debts owing and they have done damage to legislation I have earned and provided to the humanitarian cause. So those offending psychiatry, education, agriculture, all that I represent professionally, all of those people that are coveting from my professional portfolio, it might be best off if they went back to school and did a few basic sums and tried to do a few basic readings of the law. Those that are disturbing health and well-being by being ASBO, unfortunately, are not doing their children a favour. As a recovery advocate also, as well as a mental health practitioner, I have to say we don't tolerate sanity and sobriety principles being offended by those that are stepping over the line, discussing people like myself. I have not given any fraudulent, incompetent, maladjusted practitioner any permission to discuss my details, especially my health and well-being details. I provide my own care. I'm a lone adult professional property owner, and these people are deluded. So they are not safe to be conducting any transactions with. They have been causing problems in this community for 20 years. So the debt that I owed since 2006 has just gotten a lot dangerously worse, and these people are most irresponsible with the role of women and children and my little boy abducted from my care without prior supervision care order. As I've mentioned, no prior supervision, that's a prerequisite. No, I identification from the two individuals that presented themselves. No basis, no cause, no reason. So any intelligent professional people out there that are aware of the brashy, brazen bravado that I'm tolerating of individuals with poor PR stunts and a poor message are really